Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the video. Alright, so this is attempt number 3 on my speed build voiceover. Yeah, sure. Words. So, this is part 2. So, if you haven't seen the first part, I highly recommend going and checking out that video. It's kind of important. I mean, I don't know. I show the entire build in the intro and in the screenshots at the end, but you know, if you want to see me struggle, you know, go right ahead. I will have a time card now, and we'll have the video linked in the description box below. So feel free to check it out if you haven't. If not, you know, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, you will see everything, well, just about everything in the screenshots or in the intro. I don't actually include toilets because I kind of made them their own stalls. So I do show the bathroom portion, but I don't show the actual stalls, which I do something really cool in the little public bathroom. I don't even know what you want to call it, but it's like a bathroom rest area that I build. I make one of the stalls actually just for toddlers, and I add like diapers and I used one of the boxes that came from the Dream Home Decorator stuff, and I sized it down, and I think it looks really good as like wipes. So that's what I decided to do there. So one of the stalls is just for toddlers because the playground is toddler accessible, toddler friendly, toddler whatever. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I included a a toddler potty, just in case your toddler is potty trained and needs to use the bathroom while you're here. They can do that. Okay, so let me talk about what I'm doing right now. So I wanted this like chill area that you could be with just your immediate group. So I'm trying to come up with some dividers to separate the area, but I still wanted it to be open. I thought about putting a roof over this, but I decided against it. And alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to get snacks from my son. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure what I was talking about now. Oh well. Yeah. So I mess around here trying to figure out the perfect like divider area, or the perfect divider for the area. And I eventually settle on some curtains that I think are from Get Famous. The ones that light up. I'm not sure if that's the pack that they're from, but I'm getting ready to place some of these curtains right here. So yeah, I do place these. I also get rid of the fireplaces that's on the other side of the wall. We end up just going with like the fire pits on that side. I didn't want it to be, you know, have too much of the same stuff going on. I figured this side you could sit with like your family, or, I mean, it doesn't have to be your family, but I kind of figured this to be like a nice family outing or whatnot. And then on the other side it could be like a teen hangout or something. They could have a little bonfire or whatnot. I actually didn't include an actual bonfire, which I did have room. So looking back, I should have done that. If you guys decide that you want a fire pit or a bonfire, you go right ahead and add one. I would put it between the chest area and the graveyard. Once we get to that, there is the perfect spot in there for it, but I didn't even think about it. I was gonna make that a picnic area because I do end up adding a little picnic blanket and picnic basket, and one of the like the beach basket things in the playground area, thinking that, you know, a mom and their toddler or child or whatever could eat lunch if they came to the park. I thought that'd be really cute. And I wanted to add some more picnic areas, but I don't know, it didn't feel right. It felt like the build was going to be way too cluttered if in every single open spot I had something placed. So there is an open space. Hold up, guys. Oh, I'm back again. Sorry, had to open some candy. Anyway, yeah, later you'll see the area I'm talking about between the chest area and the graveyard. But I did decide to leave it just empty. I didn't even put any flowers or plants or anything in there. I just left it wide open. So if you would like to put your picnic basket down and maybe a blanket or something, that could be cute. It takes me forever to figure this area out, and to even figure the grill area out, because that does, I don't know, maybe it doesn't change. I don't know, I did so much stuff off camera because I couldn't figure out how I wanted it to look, that after like 15 minutes of me struggling with the recording on, I turned it off and continued what I was doing. It was awful, and at some points I forgot to continue recording, so you don't get to see hardly any of the finishing touches that I put on. I add so much stuff after I finish my little speed build stuff. The screenshots are so different than what I was working with, because it was tiring. It was so tiring trying to figure out how everything needed to go. I am awful. I don't know if I've said this before, probably, because, you know, this is the theme of my life. I don't know. The theme of me in The Sims is that big open areas, landscaping, anything kind of outside related, I don't know what to do with it. I just mess around and play around until I find something that's decent looking, I guess. I'm sure so many of you could do this way better than I am. And oh, you're going to see me struggle so bad trying to figure out how to do the platform piece to get the pool to fit. And I had to use pools because I ended up using a platform. So you will see me go in with, I don't even know what it is. It's that tile piece that comes with the pool and fountains and stuff. I size it up and put it under there, so you can't actually get in the pool and drown, or just get in that pool, because that would be really weird. So I do put that white stone thing, in there, and I get it at a good height so it looks like it's an actual fountain, but it is a swimming pool. And if you were to remove that, I think your Sims could actually get in there. I'm not sure, because it is raised on a foundation, but maybe. I'm not sure. So, yeah, here's where I'm trying to make it all come together and look cohesive. Oh my god, these walls, those stairs, I have to replace them. I don't even want to think about how many times. It is so many times that I replace those stairs during this build. As fast as I put walls up, it just removes them, because the only way to put walls up without removing every piece of furniture is to use the auto placement tool, and it just demolishes the fences. I mean, the stairs. So that, yeah. And this is where I decide that the graveyard is way too small. So I make it bigger, and then I decide that also is not big enough, and then I'm going to make it even bigger. So it's going to eventually touch the church, because also, if you've seen the first part of this build, you know that I said, oh, I placed the church in the back middle of the lot and I hated it, so I moved it to the right side. Guess what? I move it back to the middle. It happens. And then I expand on the outside seating area, and I even put a second arch, like wedding arch, one outside. So yes, I know that if you were to actually have a wedding at this lot, that it would confuse your guests. So if you decide to download this build and use it as a wedding venue, please, please, please remove the arch that you're not using for your wedding. Don't come at me in the comments if your wedding is all wonky because you did not remove the arch. I even stated in the description that I put on the gallery, please remove the wedding arch you are not using. So please, please, please listen to me. What is it? I can't open that one. It's sticky. Okay, so I'm finally getting to this little not portable, why do I keep saying that? It's the outside restroom area. And I was looking at, hold up. Okay, I am back again, and no, he was not hurt. He was upset that I couldn't get that candy open, and I do mean couldn't. It was melted to the paper. There was no way of getting it open. Anyway, so as I was saying, I had found some Google pictures, some public restrooms and stuff that I kind of liked, and there was this one particular picture that I loved it, and I was like, that's what we're gonna go with. And if I think about it, I will add the picture here or somewhere of what I was trying to do. This took me forever, and I left a whole bunch of my process in the video. I thought about cutting it out, but I went through so much. I was like, what I recorded is going to stay in, because I actually turn the recording off and work on this for another like 40 minutes. It was ridiculous. Stuff kept messing up. Right here, me creating a room, that was like my biggest downfall, because then I couldn't put the roof back over it. But that was an easy enough fix. I just removed the floor. Whoops. I'm sorry if you heard that. So yeah, I'm using the painting canvases, I don't know, from the easel, the plain ones that are in the debug menu, to create this fake wall, because I needed the upper portion to be low enough that the roof looked good or looked right, and you can't put roofs over the half walls, so I couldn't just use a shorter wall and go with this. So I actually used these paintings, and later I'm gonna find out that the whitest of the white wallpaper, it doesn't match. It's not as white as these, but it's fine. I'm just gonna, I dealt with it after I spent this much time and energy. See, look, the roofing went on perfectly. There was no problem. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna mess with the, I'm gonna add the front and extend the roof line, and all of a sudden my roof just disappears, and then I'm not able to replace it. And I didn't notice it in time, or else I could have just backed back up, undid whatever and fixed it, but I couldn't. So, you need to wipe your hands up? You're good? Okay. Alright, so eventually I fight with these enough that it works, and like I said, at some point I turn the camera off and mess with it and eventually get it where I need it to be. So I think it's really cute. It is paintings, and I'm sorry if that bothers you, but because of the way I placed them, you shouldn't have a problem downloading it from the gallery as long as you have move objects on. Please, 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 every build that I ever post, please have move objects on, or else I don't know how it's going to place. I know they say that they've added the thing where they place properly from the gallery, but I don't know if I believe that, because it always tells you, please make sure that you have move objects on or something. The person had build objects on. Trying to figure this portion out. If I do add the picture, you'll see what I mean. But the picture that I was basing this off of had more supports on the top, and I struggle so much adding those. And here's my roof problem. I realized that it's because I had that as an actual room, and I just totally skipped all of that right there, and that's why. I don't know why I didn't cut that. Oops. Y'all just get to see that hard edit there. I'm sorry. It's fine. A hard cut there. This is a small, well, I say small. It's very compact and claustrophobic, but it is kind of big. And I do color scheme the different sections as if it were a female and a male. But as you can see, I have just the regular unisex bathroom doors. I cannot stand when they have the gender-specific doors. Alright, I am so sorry. Oh boy, the boys were so bad. I had to wait until I put them to bed to continue this. Okay, so yeah, I know the whole the gender equality thing and the trans stuff, and that is important, but the main reason that I cannot stand the whole specific gender bathrooms is that I play my game with the walls down, so I don't know what door is what. So I'll be trying to make my male sim use the female bathroom and vice versa. So I just like to keep them gender neutral anyway, just from a gameplay standpoint, as well as, of course, the trans issue. So that is a thing. I'm over here at the chess area, and so of course while I'm building this park, every TV show comes to mind with like all the old men playing chess in the park with anybody that would, show up and actually play with him. And Then the Queen's Gambit came to mind. And just so much stuff. So I definitely wanted the option of having like a little competitive chess area. If you started a chess club or something, you could meet here and compete, make up your own little storyline. Or if you had elderly Sims that, you find nothing to do with them during the day, you could always bring them to the park and have them randomly meet people playing chess. I always struggle with elderly Sims. I feel like there's not nearly enough activities for them. Then again, other than young adults, I don't feel like we have nearly enough stuff for any of the other age groups, especially teenagers. So here's where I decided to finally move the church back into the, hit the microphone, back into the middle. So it would actually be like what's the word? Ooh. The center of the build, the centerpiece, the eye catching, I don't know. A word, guys, a word. And I do get rid of this black fence. I liked it, I did, but it's just too dark for Willow Creek in my opinion. So I do get rid of this fence after I fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. You would not believe how much time I spent on just that fence. At this rate, I really should have just used the default fence. Oh, and I'm not sure if in my footage I delete the skating rink beside it, but I definitely delete it at some point to take the screenshots because that was just so distracting over there. Not to mention I didn't want anybody to accidentally think that I had a skating rink in the build because I do not. But yeah, here I am finally making the outdoor arch area, and I mess around a little bit. I don't actually go with that arch. I do stick with the one that I put on the inside, but I put it in the pink swatch. Once again, I contemplated putting in that rainbow, the pastel, and oh, it is so beautiful, but I just, I didn't want to have to deal with trying to furnish around the rainbow. So I did just keep it with the light pink because there's so much of that light pinkish purple items in the game. And like I said, I've never really messed around with the new update with weddings, so I don't know if this is actually functional, period, but I have heard that if you don't have the My Wedding Stories, you can't even use the wedding lot. So it would be completely broken in my game because I have not bought and will not buy that pack until it's fixed. And I'm not going to rant about it, so we're just going to skip over this. But like I said in the description, it'll be in the description box below as well, but in the build description on the gallery and what I talked about earlier, please, if you download this and want to have your weddings here, please, please, please remove the arch you're not using. What it does is apparently when you tell your guests to be seated, they sit at any arch. Not necessarily the arch you clicked on to tell them to be seated, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but whatever, it is what it is. So you will have half of your wedding guests, if not more, sitting at the opposite arch, not even watching your wedding. So please, if you download this as a wedding lot, which, you can download it and change it to a park or a national park. It's going to be a park in my game. That's what I had originally, planned it to be before I realized how broken the pack was. And that's kind of, the new lot, everybody's eyes is kind of on that. So that's what I decided to go with. But until the wedding is fixed, I can't use it. And my Sims would much rather have it as a park anyway. But see, this is the way that I game. I don't know how you guys game, but I game with having a lot in my game that can be several different lot types, and I just change it up depending on what I need. So it'll be a park in my game until I need it to be a wedding, and then I'll change it to a wedding venue and have the wedding, and then I'll probably change it back to a park, assuming they fix the pack and you can actually have weddings. But until then, it's just going to be a park. Only a park. Nothing but a park. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I tried to be creative with these gravestones. None of the gravestones match, really. Either you have, like, the old dark ones from the vampire pack, or the actual black one that is a vampire stone, or then you have, like, the pristine white new gravestones. There's nothing in between. So they're very mismatched, and they don't look cohesive at all, but that's kind of what I liked. I thought about grouping all of the old ones together, like that's the old part of the graveyard, and then having the newer ones, but I didn't like that idea. I like it being higgledy-piggledy. I like it being, mismatched and different. I struggle so much with this little area right here. It took me forever to put all those stones down, as you just saw me do, but I don't know if I like it or not. I needed like a dance area, and outside that just seemed like the perfect spot was to make a little dance area. I don't know. I didn't want to use the dance floors. Is that what they're called? Yeah, the dance floors that came with the get together pack, because they're just so square and modern. I could have put the wood one out here, but I think that would have been a little strange, so I did make my own little dance floor area. So just know that's the plan of that area. That is why there's this random circle, is to be the dance floor for their first dance and all of that stuff, if you have the wedding pack. So I had so much, I wanted to do so much with this little graveyard over here, but when I got really into it, I was like, what all can I do? I didn't want to have grass and plants growing all over top of it, even though, that's kind of realistic, especially with the older gravestones, but I wanted it to be kind of respectful. So I tried my best to mix some stuff up and change stuff here or there. And I added little trinkets to some of the gravestones, as you can see. And I tried putting this swan love thing on top of the gravestones. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted it to be like an accent piece to make it look like the gravestones were actually together. Because, in real life you can get that. If you were a married couple, you can get the joint headstones. But nothing worked because that was a wood sculpture and you can't change the swatches on a gravestone. So eventually I'll place it just on the ground in front of the gravestones. But I did try to mess around and be creative. I know you guys saw me put the dog statue on that dog not gravestone, it's like the memorial thing. And then I have some statues here or there. I swear, and I go through I go through the entire catalog multiple times. I swear we have a crying fairy statue or a crying fairy something, and I could not find it for the life of me. If you know what I'm talking about and I'm not crazy, please leave a comment down below. I searched everything. I could have sworn it came with the vampire pack, because we do have a fairy in the vampire pack, but it's not crying. What I'm talking about is literally leaned over a stone crying. What am I thinking of? If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. But obviously I could never find it, so I used the woman statue from the vampire pack, like the countess or whatever she would be. I don't know what her description thing is. But yeah, and I add all these designs, and then I change the fence, and I go with a real fence, so then the placement is wrong, so I actually have to go back through and fix all of this terrain paint. Well, not all of it, but all the parts around the graveyard. And it was so time consuming. I hate terrain paint. Not as much as I hate the terrain manipulation tools. I cannot figure those out. I can promise you, well, no, I'm not going to promise that. If somebody requests me to just lose my mind using terrain manipulation tools, I will give it my best shot, but I don't plan on having much use of those tools in my builds. So many people have done such amazing things with the terrain manipulation, but I cannot. I can't even build like a normal looking hill or anything. Not to mention, I still don't understand how you build how you build up against your house. I know there's tricks and tips to do it, but I'd actually have to watch a video in order to do it. And I'd have to watch the video right then while I'm doing it, because I've watched plenty of videos that talked about it, but that in one ear and out the other. So yeah, here I am trying to figure this out. Oh, well, apparently I'm not going to show you me finishing it. So here's the screenshot. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like me or like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified of my next build or my next video, hit the notification bell. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye.